Well, welcome to the Women's March Canada podcast, making the equality of women in Canada the new norm. This is episode 57, titled From Mangoes to What Matters. My name is Melissa Durrell, and I'm your host. Women's March Canada inspires, unites, and leads the charge for the advancement of women across Canada. Please welcome this week's guest, Evelyne Nyairo. Nyairo, did I say it?
You got it.
Okay, good.
Thanks for having me.
Evelyne is the creator of Ellie Bianca, an all-natural, environmentally sustainable, socially conscious skincare line. I can't wait to hear more about this. And her terrific line supports the empowerment of women through business and education. Evelyne has an extensive background working globally in environmental and social sustainability and social sustainability. Her passion and quiet strength is truly inspiring. Can't wait to get this going. So welcome to our podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So talk to me about mangoes. How did this story start?
I love mangoes. You can tell. I truly love mangoes. And I grew up in Kenya until I was 15, then came to Canada. And in Kenya, mangoes, we were just talking about just the other day how expensive mangoes are here in Canada, and sometimes you don't even see them. But when it's mango season in Kenya and most African countries, they actually give you mangoes for free.
Lucky. That's very lucky.
Yeah, but after living in Canada for so long, I was working in Chad, in Central Africa. Chad is a country that the world, I feel, does not know. The country has so much beauty, like from physically looking at the people, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skin of the women, but also just the topography. Whether you're in the north, where it's more desert, or you are in the south, where it's pure green. It's almost like two different places, two extremes. It's just beautiful. So I found myself there in 2012, end of 2011, and we were working on a pipeline. And I was working for an oil and gas company, and they had actually brought me on to ensure that we are holding international standards, international environmental standards, as we are doing the work, which, I'm really, really grateful for companies like that really want to challenge the status quo.
Is that your background?
That's my background. Yeah, I'm a biologist and chemist, so that's my background, and I've done lots of work in environmental sustainability all over the world.
Very cool. Okay, sorry, back to Chad.
Yeah, so I am there. And I can envision myself in Chad, and in that little community, a few kilometers out of Mundu. Mundu is by flight an hour from the capital in Jamena. So, a Canadian girl, I'm there. I take my coconut water and my nuts, because I'm like, I don't want to be sick eating, foreign food. But after the whole day of working, I'm looking at these ripe mangoes. And when it's mango season, they're everywhere. Right on your face. So I look at my guide, and I say to him, can I just steal one mango? We've been here the whole day like this. Can I just grab one from the tree? And he goes, no, come on. We leave the work. We head into this mini forest, and there is a wife and kids and the husband. So really a family. The husband is enjoying it. It's hot, like you haven't felt the heat. He is on the side, enjoying the shade. The kids and wife are bringing the mangoes down. And she brings me a basket full. And of course I was hungry, and they're super ripe and juicy, and I'm just eating as much as I could. By this time I've eaten at least 20, and I'm not kidding. I look at my God, I say, I better check that to make sure I have enough money. So I said, how much? He said, $2.50 CFA, which is 25 cents. I'm like, I can bring me some more. I take out $20 to pay her, and my guide snatches the note and says, I'm really sorry, but we have to pay the husband. And I said, why? And I'm from Africa, so I'm from Kenya. So why? He says, it's a sign of respect. If you pay the wife, it will be disrespecting him. What is really funny was, so I paid in reluctantly, because I mean, you want to be respectful of the norms and customs of a country. So I leave there, and as we're driving back to camp, the guy was drunk, right? So I know that he was super excited because it was super payday that day, that I paid $20 US. And of course, you know, they sell this beer, it's called Pili Pili, on the streets. But I know that the wife still had to worry about finding food for the kids. You know, in that moment, as I was actually standing and, you know, as we're going back and forth, it also brought me back home in Canada. Because, you know, as a woman working in a male-dominated industry, in the engineering field, I have experienced that payment in a different way. You know, I've had situations where it would be like, hey, is your assistant taking notes? You know, or you will ask the question. I was just the other day in Egypt, where you will be in a meeting and I will ask the question, but they will respond to my male counterpart. So it brought me to that moment, and I said, you know, I have to do something, right? I cannot keep this to myself, because I have a daughter, my daughter, Ellie Bianca. I can't keep this to myself. I have to share my story and invite other women to share their story, so together we can inspire hope. So I kept asking, you know, what can I do? You know, what can we make? You know, I came home, and as I was having conversations with my sister, and I said, you know, we need to do something. I actually involved my daughter, Ellie. I said, Ellie, we need to start a business where we can help other women. And Ellie said, Mom, she used to love chewing gum at that point. So, Mom, we should make, you know, gum that you can chew endlessly. and she brought the business case, and she said, we'll sell it for $1, and we'll sell it for $2. 50 cents will be our expenses, 50 will be our profit, and $1 will go towards the women in that we work with. And we will need to sell 1 million chewing gums.
That's simple.
That's simple. And it felt so simple. We were like, we can do this. But gum wasn't quite it. As we kept having the conversations, we said, you know, let's use some of the resources from the women there. So we have an amazing woman, Odette, that is in Chad, that we work with. She pulled together 2 women. We formed 2 co-ops there. And now the women come together. We buy the shea butter from them. And we're hoping to do more. You know, we talk about business with them. We sponsor kids there, because I believe that, you know, we sponsor boys as well, because if you know, ignorance sometimes is what causes problems. If we can get the boys educated, then, you know, I call it young boys cannot be the men they don't see. So if we want them to be the men that we want them to be, we have to start helping them, so that slowly we can start changing society. Just same as how young girls cannot be, you know, the women we want them to be if they don't see the role models.
Mm-hmm. And education is such a big part of that too.
Yes. So we sponsor we have a scholarship.
Oh, I just lost you. Evelyne, I lost you. We'll just hold for a second here. Okay, and we're back. Yay. So we were discussing how changing culture. All right, technical difficulties over. Let's get back to it. Tell me more, Evelyne.
Yeah, so basically that experience in Chad made me thinking that we cannot keep quiet, because even though we've been talking about advancing gender equality, I feel that we're not there yet. You know, the truth is I'm passionate about this. You know, I've been part of, you know, women in science. I've been part of women in engineering. We're still not there yet. Mm-hmm. And I have a daughter. I don't want this to be just a conversation. I want to do something about it. And that's how, you know, Ellie Bianca was born, right there in that beautiful red soil in Chad, and that, the beautiful green scenery, I said, I cannot keep my story to myself. I want to share my story to inspire hope, and forming the women co-ops that I kind of said earlier before we had our little technical issues. So starting the women co-op there, and starting to sponsor boys and girls. Actually, our first girl in Kenya finished university in computer science, which is just amazing to see.
Yeah, that's moving the sticks. It really is.
Yes, yes. And then as we're moving into Canada, as I started having the conversations with my friends here and getting the brand going, the women here said, we also want to be part of this movement, right? So we hold meetings in our location in Calgary, and we are connecting with other women. And this year, for the first time, we launched a scholarship for single mothers.
Amazing.
In Canada. Yeah. Yeah.
So explain to me a little bit. So fill in the gaps. So the skincare line is replacing the gum, in the sense that you're selling it, but then part of the proceeds are going back to help some of these co-ops that are they all in Chad? And now it sounds like you've expanded into scholarships here. Give me the full picture.
Yes. So kind of taking the few steps back to bring the business case how it got to be. So having that conversation with my daughter and my sister, and we're saying, what can we do? Ellie was brilliant then. I think she was 10 with the gum idea. And my sister loves shea. My sister keeps saying, why can't we? Because I had brought shea before, and she kept saying, why can't we make product with shea?
Mm-hmm. Like shea butter, sort of.
Shea butter, yes. Why can't? Because you can source it from them. That way you're teaching them how to fish instead of giving them a fish.
Good.
Right? That $20, it really didn't go far. Mm-hmm. And you can only give so much. How about we use what they already have? Mm-hmm. And the goal is really, as the business grows, we want to, Chad has lots of resources, and it's just a beautiful country that is not touched, right? Very less in terms of GMO introduction, not even fertilizer, because it's too expensive, right? So the land, they're still doing the traditional way of farming, how it was meant to be, where they will farm this area this year and then they will let it sit for 3 years. So really giving the land a rest, and they're not introducing fertilizer.
Fantastic, like old school organic.
Yes, old school organic, so perfect. And I mean, everything that is really new age now. When I'm in Chad, you can get millet, you can get quinoa, they grow rice, they have hibiscus, of course the mangoes, they have marula, and hibiscus in particular, you get both red and white hibiscus. Right?
So you're sourcing all of your ingredients from there, and then are they being manufactured there? Or are they coming back here?
Yeah, so some of our ingredients come from all over, but shea butter in particular and oil we get from Chad. And then if it's marula comes from South Africa, we're exploring to get marula oil from Kenya. We get Canadian lavender. Like we get ingredients from all over. But our main ingredient, the shea, comes from Chad. And of course, we're paying them a fair value of what it will cost in the marketplace. And we have that personal relationship, and of course, of enhancing the community as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you named it after your daughter, is that correct?
I did, yeah.
And what does she think about that? Does she use the bottles?
It's been it was a challenge at the beginning, because I mean, when I came home after that trip, and after my sister and we agreed that we're going to make skincare, because at the end we said, women, we all want to look beautiful. It doesn't matter where you are. And it was that connection. When I would see the women in Chad, they will put the shea all over their body, even though it's super hot, because shea has natural SPF. You never see a dot on their skin. No. It's full blemish-free skin. So I could see that beauty, and I mean, they are colorful. They from the dresses to everything. You should see them when they're going to the market. I will have to send you a picture of when we're even having meetings, how nicely they're dressed,
Yeah.
colorful and beautiful, shining skin. And I look at the same, and there's no different than that woman in Chad to the women here in Canada. We all want to look beautiful. We're all looking at, hey, that wrinkle, how can I get rid of it? Or how can I slow it down? And that is a common ground. So we thought we will use the skincare to heal not just the skin, but to heal the soul as well. And I mean, our logo, if you see that circle is an open nut of the shade nut when you open it.
Lovely.
We're all looking for that to be connected, but we know that there's challenges. So that's where you see the rough pieces of it. That's where you see there's a little bit of gap where there's missing connection. So we're all looking to be connected. So we're wanting to use the brand to create that connection, to create that global connection with the end result of empowering each other.
So talk to me a little bit about how the company is going. I mean, you've got such a beautiful story behind it. Are you seeing traction? How's the market?
I'll tell you, like right from day one, everyone loved our brand, like the pillars, kind to your skin, kind to the earth, kind to women. And I really wanted the brand to represent that, because truly it's who I am. I like natural things. I like to take care of the planet, because I've been fighting for all these years with oil and gas and saying, hey, we can do more. We can extract resources more sustainably. So that piece is who I am. But really, the women empowerment piece, who I've always been, but I didn't have the courage to speak out loud. Mm-hmm. And Ellie Bianca has given me that voice.
Entrepreneurship, when you become your own boss, you have to be your own voice, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, and even though this is my 5th business, so I have been my own boss for a while, but I feel like I'm being a boss in an industry that I want to be a boss, because it's not just me. And the growth has been significant. Like our products are sold now across Canada, about 50 locations. 2019 is going to be big. We're going to be launching at Whole Foods in Ontario, and hopefully Whole Foods in the western part. We are selling at Nature's Emporium in Ontario. And we're here in Calgary at Blush Lane at Planet Organic. In BC, we are at Home Natural Foods, Planet Organic in Victoria, Fort Pharmacy. I mean, the growth.
That's fantastic.
I'm just naming a few. The growth has been significant. We just launched in our first location in the U.S. And we're right now, as we speak today, we're working on an export plan to get our products into the international market. Women all over are saying we want to be part of this movement, because I said we have to start having authentic conversations. We cannot just say it's okay when it's not okay. We have to feel the challenges, because sometimes when we become, really show that authenticity, we're giving someone else permission. Because, often I will do lives on Facebook where I'll say, oh my goodness, I'm having a really shitty day, for lack of a better word. And whoa, I didn't know that business was this difficult. I don't want to get out of bed, right?
Yeah.
And someone else will be like, oh, I am feeling the same, right? So it's like, we don't have to be perfect. We are not meant to be perfect, but it's making us step forward each day.
I love it. So tell me, how can I buy your product? Do you sell online too, or do we have to go onto your website to find out where you get it? So answer that question first, and then I got one more. Okay,
so in terms of getting our products, we have our website where we ship globally. So anywhere in the world, anywhere in Canada, on www.elliebianca.com. We're also sold at various retail locations. You can find the list on our website as well, where our products are sold. Yeah.
What do you recommend? What's the product that you recommend for our listeners today?
You know, one of the products that's has done extremely well, and actually my team just informed that we have maybe 2 in stock, is
Wow.
frankincense and myrrh for the holidays.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something special about the frankincense and myrrh oil. So growing up in Kenya, when we were sick, you were put under a blanket and you will steam in the frankincense resin and water. You
Interesting.
come out of it and you are feeling okay. And then throughout, we will burn the incense, the frankincense incense.
I'm going to try that the next time I'm feeling under the weather.
And you know what? I touch people because I'm constantly out and doing demos and applying products on people's hands. I
Yeah,
haven't had it in 5 years.
no kidding. Well, I also think it helps when you're doing something you love. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it is
You're
true. It is true.
even
Yeah,
though sometimes it's really hard to make payroll or whatever it is when you're running your business, but overall it's pretty satisfying. And you're
that's
running an incredible
yeah.
company.
Yeah, I mean, the second product that I will recommend that goes, because that blend in the frankincense and myrrh, it's a blend of 12 oils plus vitamin E. So you can use it to cleanse, you can use it to moisturize. You know, I've really applied my science knowledge in terms of looking at the molecular weight of the various oils, how they interact to give a one-stop shop for your face, cleansing, moisturizing, removing makeup. But if you want to take it a step higher, we have our Lux line where we have the Glow Serum, another one that we cannot keep enough of because our customers get to see instant results. This one has marula. Marula is the secret to the African never aging skin. So the Glow Serum is also very, very popular.
Okay, well, as soon as I get off this, I'm going online to order. Thanks, Evelyne. How can people find you? Can you give us your @ symbols and are you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, so we are on Instagram, and our symbol is Ellie Bianca Beauty, and on Twitter. So please go on and follow us. We are always very active there. We definitely want to build that global connection. We are on Twitter as Ellie Bianca INT, so Ellie Bianca International, and on Facebook, Ellie Bianca Beauty.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, we march in just under a month now, so it's pretty exciting.
Yes. Together we're stronger.
That's right. And I mean, we're marching in Canada all across this country, but we're marching globally as well. We have marches that are happening, in Tel Aviv and Sao Paulo, like all around the world. And I know that we have a few in Africa too. So really exciting. It's women, we need to start to march together for equality.
We have to actually do it. I remember being in a forum and having that same conversation of we cannot be blaming someone. We have to take control and say, hey, we are stronger. Where is the problem? Let's fix it. And, one recommendation that came from that point was, women buying from women, women supporting women in the workplace. Again, young girls cannot be what they don't see. If they see us being mean to each other in the workplace, what we expect the teenagers to do.
That's right. Thank you. Words of wisdom. Thanks so much for joining our show. And thanks for everyone who tuned in to listen. Your comments are welcomed and encouraged. Please subscribe to our Women's March Canada channel and receive updates every time we upload a new podcast, which is usually on Fridays. Our mission across Canada is to stand together in solidarity with our partners and children for the protection of our rights, our safety, our health, and our families, recognizing that our vibrant and diverse communities are the strength of our country. This is the Women's March Canada podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Women's March CDA and on our website, womensmarchcanada.com. I'm Melissa Durrell, and I am wishing you a fantastic day. Thanks.